Hello ladies and gentlemen, GM here, and we are on our way to claim the beautificious body for our magnum opus. Over there, you'll see the lookout point where we saw Scabrous Scrotus's camp, which is just up ahead, right there, up and to our right. And if you look on the lower right hand side of our screen, you'll see that we are running pretty fucking low on gas, which means right up here we are gonna have to hop out and get some of that good guzzling. Such a pretty looking game. I love the night sky. Alright, so we have apparently, look at that moon, it's fucking beautiful. We have just encountered a few fuel cans, which are right over here. Be grabbing this scrap real quick. Got to get all of those optional objectives. I will be completing as much of this game as I can. Hopefully finding all the hidden stuff. And this fuel can is empty. Alright. Well, with no gasoline in tow, let us move on.
Long gone now, along with anything of use.
Although I don't know if there's actually fuel all around. There is probably some up ahead where the game is telling us there is.
She's out of gas.
Let's see. Got a few scrappas. Nothing much to worry about. These guys are incredibly weak as far as enemies go. Doesn't help that this combat system is phenomenally easy, he says as he gets punched in the face. There we go. That was one lame-ass takedown.
What a great bounty! We're in luck. Rare haul. We may refuel and demolish.
He says it's a great bounty. I don't know about that. Looks like we got one fuel can. But I suppose you take what you can get in the wasteland. So let's refuel our car. I said refuel, not drop.
All the way to the brim.
Alrighty, let's do as he says. Looking good for a car that's essentially only rigging right now. The one thing I will say about this game is it's kind of a game that you just want to drive through. Be silent and witness the beauty of. Like, say for example, just look at that moon, because that's so fucking pretty. Which makes it a little bit harder to commentate. It also doesn't necessarily help that there's actually not a lot of action right now. So if I'm quiet at some points and just leave you guys to look at the beauty of this wasteland we're driving through, you'll have to excuse me, but I will try to do my best to keep up the commentary, he says as he then fails to think of anything to say. This game really is so pretty though. Got some spikes up here. Before we left, Chumbucket mentioned that we had to go at night so the Buzzard Guardians wouldn't kill us. I don't know who the Buzzard Guardians are, but yeah, that hurts our car, by the way. In case you were wondering, the car's health is down in the lower right-hand corner along with our weaponry. It is interesting to note that they haven't actually given us a melee weapon of any sort yet, and they gave us the shotgun right away. Right. We actually have to go back here so we can grab our fuel can. I hope that there's not always a cutscene after everything I do. More importantly, I hope that there's not always like a load time in between when that cutscene for an activity ends. Random plastic bottles just kind of flying around. Alright, so we're just gonna ignite this here. Now, if you'll recall, in the last episode we did come across a... what was it? It had a name. A skink den, and this thing was hiding beneath a door that we could only blast off its hinges. So once we get another fuel can, we'll be going back there, and I'll be hopefully taking out that thing. It says it's a weak enemy, so I assume we can without too much trouble. Alright, let's look at the graveyard here. Place of cultural significance for the buzzards. It seems they keep car bodies here before transforming them into war machines. Apparently, they do not dare to bring these cars down into their tunnels before their transformation. The buzzards are very superstitious and believe that such car bodies might have negative influence on some metaphysical plane before they have been cleansed by spiky transformation. It is also from this place that many buzzards launch their nightly hunts across the wasteland. The place is barred up and heavily booby-trapped. Only when the buzzards are out on their hunts can someone enter, but at huge peril. So, if any of you have watched Fury Road, the buzzards were actually those guys that attacked Furiosa's convoy shortly after they revealed their deception to Immortan Joe. They were driving those spiky cars that would impale anything that got touched. Not incredibly durable, but definitely effective at car-to-car combat. So, right there, we did see some sort of a bomb thing. Just gonna avoid this one. Those do hurt your car very significantly, as do the flames that they leave behind, which is interesting because in most games, stuff like that, flames and such, just kind of don't do anything. You could probably drive through that in most games, but here they obviously decided to opt against that little feature. I'm just going to try to avoid as many of these things as I can. The driving controls would undoubtedly be better if I was actually on a controller, but I'm on a mouse and keyboard right now, so I wouldn't be too surprised if I ended up hitting some of those, like that one I almost hit. But we just missed it. Anyways, my apologies if I seem like a terrible driver and just hit everything as we're going through here. I would like to pick up the speed and go as fast as I possibly could through here, but it's obviously not going to be possible with these giant swinging balls of death in our way. Hello there. I love this scene, it's so cool. Our car is almost dead though, as you will notice. Yep, there we go. Now, Chumbucket can actually make car repairs, but for whatever reason, he's not going to offer to do that until we're out of this area. I assume it's just because he feels like we're in significant danger and he doesn't want to just hop out and leave us so the buzzards can get to us. But it is annoying. That would be a nice option to have right now, especially since we're going to encounter a little car versus car combat very shortly. Maybe our car heals up right here during the cutscene, though. I don't know. It would be nice if he fixed it while we were off doing things. Oh, got a little bit of lag. Not too bad, though.
There! Our prize, right for the taking! Go quickly! The only way to get up there is through those cave tunnels!
I will go as soon as I've finished my sip of Lipton green citrus tea,
I'll lower the body onto it.
which I am very addicted to. Now, there is something, I don't know if you guys caught it, there was something over there, because Mad Max just says something here. There's a shadow that shows up here, maybe? Somewhere on one of these walls, there is a shadow of whatever that creature is. But we also got some scrap here. How nice. And a zipline. So, hold E to do everything is a good rule of thumb for when you're playing this game. I've got to say, this game has been impressing a lot of... There it is. This game has been impressing a lot of people, for sure. I believe the user rating on Steam is overwhelmingly positive, and most critics who have tried it seem to really like it a lot. I'm playing Metal Gear Solid right now, and one of the concerns I talked about in my very first video on this channel was actually the fact that this game and Metal Gear Solid were coming out on the same day. I was afraid that since they were both third-person action sandboxes, kind of, with shooting mechanics, that people would just not really pay any attention to Mad Max. But from what I've played of this game, it actually seems sufficiently different to Metal Gear Solid in terms of just gameplay and everything, that I actually am finding them to both be very playable at the same time, which means if you have the disposable income, and I totally understand that most people won't, but if you do have the disposable income to spend $120 on games this week, there's no reason not to get both. They're both incredibly fun in their own ways.
The whole world up there in your hand.
Yep. Looks like Chum Bucket actually did repair our car if that meter in our lower right-hand side is anything to go by. Alright. Wonder... Oh, here's our last scrap pile. There we go. Got everything over here, I believe. I hope. I think that was all the scrap. Alright, so right here, we get to choose the body for our car. Now, I do like this one. I'm not a fan of that one, even though it's more akin to the black on black, his first car. That one is too, but my favorite is definitely this bad boy. So we're gonna go with him. Pretty sweet. Let's see. This one or this one? I'm feeling this one. Let's do it. Die roller. Hell yeah. I hope we won't die while we're rolling in it, but we'll see what the buzzards have in store for us. Now this next part, when I first played through it, as I mentioned, I played about 40 minutes of this just to get a taste for it. This next part was something that I fucked up to a rather incredible degree. Hello, sir. Now, these guys are the first kind of harder enemy you'll encounter. As you can see, they do dodge your attacks, and they actually have some attacks that you can't actually... Let's pick up that knife, and they do have some attacks that you actually can't. Huh, shit. I didn't actually pick up a knife the first time I was here, but that's rather effective. That's cool. I wonder if you can take out stronger enemies with that, or if that's just like an instant execution option for lower health enemies. This sounds a little loud to me right now, so I'm actually just going to go into the settings and turn down the audio a little bit. Just because, even though my voice isn't that pretty, I do want you all to be able to hear me talking. Still keep the cutscene volume at 100, of course. Alright. That should be good. Cool. Oh. Why didn't you accept our changes? Alright, there we go. It accepted them that time. And of course, we come out of the menu and immediately get slugged. So, the fighting combat is obviously incredibly easy. I'm not having any difficulty and I just beat up like 7 guys. Obviously, this game is going to get a lot harder the further it goes. But for now, instead of talking about gameplay mechanics, I want to get out of here, so... I find it interesting that they didn't all just jump down. There are obviously a lot of them up there, and most of them opt not to follow me right now, even as I'm escaping, but maybe it's because I fought through their arena and they admire a good combatant. Let's hop into our die roller. Get in the back, chum. We're off. Now, I don't know if you can actually drive back through there. There was kind of a little entrance, but it is interesting. So you can shoot the fuel tanks and blow up these buzzard cars. It's interesting to me that with the fact that running into pretty much anything damages your vehicle, running into those giant flaming spike balls that their vehicles turn into when they explode actually doesn't damage your car at all. At least that's how it would seem to me. You can also just ram these guys or drive them into flames. That guy got taken out pretty quickly, I guess. Not the greatest driver. Oh, nope, he's behind us. Alright, that means that I'm going to want to take that guy out right now. Hopefully he'll be sidetracked by the debris. I don't know if that's the thing that can actually happen, but we can check behind. Yeah. He doesn't seem to be... Oh, he's gaining on us. Hello there, that was a nice little jump. Alright, so he's heading off back there. Alright, so we have successfully acquired the body for our magnum opus. Not gonna lie, that was pretty fucking fun. As I've already said, I really like the driving mechanics for this. The car feels absolutely phenomenal in terms of how it handles, which for a game that revolves so much around vehicular combat is definitely what you want, but I'm still pleasantly surprised by how well they managed to pull it off. The building I'm in right now is currently infested by ants, by the way, so if you hear me shout, "Ah!" and then hear a sickly snapping sound, it's me busting some ant with my hand. There's Dinky D. She made it out alive. Looked like she had some sort of mechanical apparatus on her leg that Chumbucket fixed up for her. Maybe it was just a splint or something. He did mention that her leg had been cleaned right down to the bone, but still pretty cool. Alright, let's start our next mission.
I need more than just a body and some wheels.
Hey, man! Oh, we need parts, scarce as they are. Help me gather all this scrap. Huh? Or fashion a harpoon.
I don't know how, but apparently our subtitles... No, it says our subtitles are on. Huh. I wonder why it didn't show them. But our audio is back. There are all sorts of weird things happening with this right now. Okay. It says our subtitles are totally on, but they didn't show up in that scene. I don't know, guys. If they don't show up again, I might just reload real quick or something, because I know that it can be hard to understand, especially with Chumbucket's speech impediments.
May also prove to be useful in battle.
How so?
We could use it to defeat enemies.
So right now he's just talking about the various customizations we can have for our car. Going through enemies, ripping up doors.
Yeah, but the jag tip, it's not here. See, it's not.
I love how he just ripped off that piece of metal. Fix our engine.
It's just there for safe keep.
It's just there for safety? Alright. You can also not sprint in here, or at least not over there. I guess you can once you get further in here. So if you'll remember, here's our good old first car, Chumbucket's buggy. If you'll remember, there wasn't actually anything to loot over here initially, but there totally is now. The jag tip. I wasn't actually able to make out what that was for certain, but it definitely looked like some kind of fire poker. I'm still worried that there are no subtitles showing up. Cinematics volume. This keeps reverting. Okay, it seems like it's stayed there now. And our subtitles are on. If they keep not showing up, then I guess I'll just translate the gist of what they're saying.
Got the jag tip.
Let's do this. Alright, so we got our first bits of car customization here. Harpoon category. So obviously he wants us to do something here. Get the jag tip. Sure. We'll install that. Alright, now we obviously has way more scrap than we need to do this menial stuff. We have 152 scrap. So let's look at what we've got here. We've got armor, we've got engine, exhaust, tires, suspension, boost, rims, border spikes. Jumpers can be a real nuisance, especially in large numbers. Border spikes prevent them from successfully boarding. Hood ornament, decals, body color, car body, repair speed, side burners, thunderpoon, harpoon, and the sniper rifle. Alright, well, obviously, if I could, I would unlock that sniper rifle, but I have to keep progressing through the story. Makes me a little sad. Alright.
Just stand a chance.
I guess we can't actually do anything more.
I know how, but we'll need the parts.
We just get them. It'll be easy with the harpoon.
Yes, but first, Scrotus war boys are out there. And if we don't weaken their numbers, why, it'll mean the end of you, me, and the magnum opus.
All right, let's do it.
I'm totally addicted to this stuff. Alright, I actually want to see if we can upgrade anything else. Nope. Looks like that's all the basic customization we have. Alright. So I was hoping.
Scrotus war boys, put them up to mark their turf. Bring them down for good.
Ramming could damage up front, but it should work.
Cool. So I was hoping the chum bucket would actually be your harpooner. In the movies, obviously, the war boys have guys they keep in the back of their car that will harpoon any variety of things. Nice. That was pretty badass. At least more badass than I was expecting it would be. There's that skink nest over there. We don't actually have an extra can of gas though, so not gonna take it out just yet. I wonder why that's burning, actually. That was pretty cool. That was a surprisingly big explosion, considering that was just like a random little scarecrow thing. Toggle weapons. Okay, so obviously can I pull it down? I can.
The land is clear of scarecrows. Oh, this camp thing before us at our mercy.
No, scout it out.
Oh, yes, yes. To see if they nasty surprises and wait for the righteous.
What's the purpose of these camps?
For the righteous. I don't know how righteous we actually are, Chum Bucket.
To be refined and gasolined in gas town.
Hello, is that... Alright, doesn't look like there are any enemies over here. I was expecting there to be something guarding this type of thing. I do like that the game world isn't actually just like overrun and totally inundated with enemies like most open world games are, because it wouldn't be.
Let's see. War crier.
People are actually fairly scarce in this world. Obviously, most of them have died. What else? Flame pipe.
Sniper out front.
Yep.
That's all.
Okay.
What'd you spy, Saint?
Camp is light defenses. I'll deal with them before entering.
Yes, yes. Nothing our sweet magnum opus cannot handle.
I like how he's already acting as if this is the greatest car that's ever been built. Hello. I do love how you can just drive over everything. Doesn't really matter. You'll either explode when you hit it, or you'll just keep rolling over it. I wanted to see if there was a way to get around there, but it doesn't look like there actually is, which means we are just gonna have to approach the camp head first and take out the people that way. Magnum opus, car of the righteous. I do love how much religious terminology Chum Bucket uses.
They've spotted us now and preparing for battle.
This gotta be quick.
Hello. Camp's already alerted almost. Well, I wonder if Chum Bucket can take him out. Can we actually take that thing out? Yep. I was wondering if that would work.
We'll rip it off! Harpoon awaiting your command!
Alright. Let's harpoon that thing. I'm surprised that that sniper bullet actually took out as much of our health.
And we win again!
And we win again. I don't think we won yet, old buddy. One more ram should do it. Or maybe not. Let's back up a little more. For Valhalla! Oh, that was effective. Alright. Let's see who all is in here.
I'm going. Wait here.
So the war crier has been alerted. Oops. Alright. So we're surrounded by war boys, but it shouldn't be anything that we can't handle pretty easily. I say that as I've got like 10% health left, but obviously they're just war boys, it shouldn't be that bad. Oh, unless I die here. One thing that I dislike about these types of combat systems is they always seem to be so unresponsive, where there's like a 50% chance that if you block something right before it hits you, you're just gonna be fucked. Hello. 0. Just you and me, he says. I like how he doesn't even do anything to me. You can just sit here. Glug, 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 glug. Nothing. Nothing going on. I love how he's talking to me. You need a good war crier, I'm your man. Been doing this for years. It's pretty amazing. I don't think I actually... Oh, I can just lower him to the ground. Sure. Sorry, bro. Ouch. Is there even anything left of him? Oh, caught a few body parts there. Of course, Mad Max is gonna be sad about his car. Alright, we got our... That's fucked up.
Will I ever come back? Gotta get to that pump and destroy it.
Alright, we've got to get to the pump and destroy it. So obviously they destroyed everything that was left of the Black and Black. All we have now is the car. Hello, what are you? Alright, so you can counter their attacks effectively just by hitting them as they're about to attack you, which is useful. Ouch. Holy shit. Alright, but not that, apparently. Like I said, it always seems like there's like a 50-50 chance that I'll actually be able to block an attack, which might be an issue. I wish you could pull this shiv back out of enemies once you're done stabbing them. Will this take out my health? No. It is awful loud though. Alright. Hopefully I turned it down a little bit, so hopefully your eardrums won't be busted out. I assume I actually just missed that ladder right there because I'm a dumbass. Let's go. Scrotus insignia. I wonder if this is like a treasure cache marker or if that was just something we needed to take out. Apparently the latter. I would be surprised if they didn't have a lot of water here, which it looks like they do. That's nice. It is interesting to me how they made the water just like the health potion of this game. I can see that actually being a really cool mechanic. It gives me some hope. that the survival aspects of this game won't completely underwrite how cool the rest of it is. Which is something I was worried about, just because I find it breaks immersion so much when you have to constantly worry about how much food you have or how much water you have, when what you should be worrying about is how cool the vistas around you are. So there's a hole down there that might either be a shortcut or a place we have to get to, but I just wanted to see, yes, if there was something up here, which of course there is. We've got an ammo cache, which is certainly extremely useful, and we got some scrap. Alright, so we're out of the sandstorm now.
Him again.
Huh. There we see the mysterious nomad from the tutorial, who may or may not have been inscribing some hieroglyphs on the cave walls. I will say that one problem both this game and Metal Gear Solid had, when I was playing through them at least, in terms of recording, was that they both had extremely varying audio.
What do you want?
Time has built to this, Wanderer. Your path, however crooked, has led you straight to here. Our work, yours and mine, must soon commence. Come find me when your spirit is ready.
When our spirit is ready. Well, that won't be now, because I noticed another passageway down there. Last time we took a passageway down, it actually led us to the objective, which is why I hesitated going down here. But obviously the objective is over there, and this place only has scrap. And a Scrotus insignia. Which means I have no qualms about. I wonder if you have to... I wonder how you take that out, actually. Can you just shoot it? Can you climb something to get up there? Is any of what I'm saying even remotely possible? Anyways, I was talking about... Oh, there we go. You can't shoot it. Anyways, I was talking about how difficult the audio was to record for Metal Gear Solid and this game, because it varies a lot. Obviously, Chumbucket's voice is very fluctuating in the sense that it cracks a lot. Sometimes he speaks very low, sometimes he's very shouty. And in Metal Gear, there were instances where even when I had the game up to full volume and everything else was super loud, a character would talk and I would barely even hear them, which is definitely annoying enough if you're playing the game, and it's even more annoying if you're trying to record and make sure that not only can your voice be heard, which means the game audio has to be fairly low. I don't have a particularly strong voice unless I'm actually doing speaking, so I'm also in a dorm room right now, which means I can't really afford to just be shouting at people and talking very, very loudly. Would that I could, but I don't want to blow my voice out. I don't want my participation grade to suffer because I wasn't able to speak in class because I was doing my YouTube, man. Doesn't actually sound like a very great excuse. So it seemed like I got frenzied or something there, and as I did, yeah, so up in the upper right hand corner it seems like there's kind of a frenzy meter. I think I went into this fight with less health than I have right now.
There's no reason for them to come back.
It's also cool that his face gets very bloodied up the more you continue fighting. But I'm pretty sure that whatever that frenzy thing was that activated when I got a record for a hit streak, I'm pretty sure that that also let me regain some of my health, or at least take less damage or something. Which is interesting because usually those types of mechanics make you take more damage and return you deal greater damage. But I'm down for a health steal type of thing. I assume that will be kind of a core mechanic as the game gets harder. I'm just going to finish this mission up and then probably leave you off. Explosion required. So, I assume... Well... I assume you can either blow it up, which doesn't seem like it's going to be the case, or there's a gas tank around here somewhere that I'm just being an idiot and not missing, and I bet it's behind this door. Yep.
Two storage.
There we go.
One candle did the trick.
Look, I was right. We didn't get a cutscene that time. I don't know if there are only interaction cutscenes for specific things or if it's kind of an everything. Alright, let's ignite this. Oh, we got one for that. Cool. Alright, so it says allies have populated the camp and will complete regular deliveries of scrap to us.
The one from the tunnels. I need to find him.
I'm wondering who exactly these allies are, because we didn't have anything mentioned to us by Chumbucket before we came in here about anybody else who was trying to help or fend off Scabarus. Oh, I guess I've got to drink some water to fix my broken leg. Gotta love game logic. Oh, no, actually, that didn't fix my broken leg. It just probably helped it a little bit. So I assume that guy is just back out here somewhere. He's probably actually disappeared, because last time we saw him, he said we weren't worthy, and this time he said we still had to do more work. Make our spirits stronger, I believe was what he said. Something around that line of thought. Which is interesting, because it brings up this whole prophecy theme that's a part of this game. Chumbucket brings up a prophecy. That guy mentions our spirit becoming stronger. It almost makes you wonder if there aren't forces that have joined to try and help Mad Max attain his end goal, which is, of course, finding the Plains of Silence. I imagine that would hurt so bad, because those ladders look rusty as fuck, and I don't imagine that it would be especially pleasant to just slide down them barehanded like that. I could always be wrong.
There's something needs doing before we turn back.
But we've got all we need. Why stall our work on the magnum opus?
It's not for you to understand.
I see. You have your secret reasons. I'll follow you, because I think fate favors old chum. And you need both of us.
That was kind of an interesting interaction. This whole game, Chumbucket has been very worshipy.
Solo, please, take this flare. When you need old chum, point skywards and fire.
Alright, so we can summon him to us in battle, I guess. But this whole game, Chumbucket has been very worshipping
Stay with the car. I'll do this alone.
of
Oh, never mind, old chum bucket.
Mad Max.
Never mind the old black finger.
So it's interesting to me that in that interaction, he was very offish when Mad Max said that something else needed to be done. I'm assuming it's because even though he worships Mad Max in a sense, he worships the mechanical even more. Alright, so there are more hieroglyphs here. I suppose that explained the hieroglyphs, and the last episode when we were going through the tutorial, we went through a cave, and when we were going through, there were no hieroglyphs like that on the walls, and then when we came back, they were just covered in them. So I guess that explains it, which actually makes me very happy, because that would have been a weird technical oversight, but that's really cool.
There you are. Shifter of sands, letter of blood, remnants of a ruined past. You say you seek the plains of silence, but do you not wander them right now? The remains of your life, a perpetual flight, an escape from all that is human, until one day the plains of silence end and you begin. You've purpose in this life, my friend, although you fear to dream it. but pain will come, much more pain, before this purpose to you is made manifest.
You know nothing of me.
Look behind you, at dune after dune of drifting, half-forgotten terrors. You flee them always, these past phantoms, and the madness that crawls inside. You've come to Griffith for a reason, deep inside. Twisted around horrors from which you run lies your strength. Griffith can help. Help you venture down to where you daren't go yourself. And lay bare your true promise.
Huh. That's an interesting way to introduce the character development system. Alright. So we've got legend level. It's annoying that they don't tell you what that actually is. Sure. We'll put 1 point in there, and then we'll put 1 point into here. So we'll get more melee damage and more health. Interesting that he just disappeared. Now, of course, I have no way of knowing this. Well, maybe a quick legend. Yes, we can definitely find it in here, can't we? Maybe not. Huh. I don't know what that legend thing was. Judgment. Griffa is that guy's name. Once again, the hieroglyphs are gone. Makes you wonder if they have a mystical quality to them or not. Now, I might be wrong, but I am pretty certain that that was the voice of the narrator, which is interesting because...
Spiders.
Huh.
That's trouble.
Because that means that that guy...
Where's the car?
Where's Chumbucket?
Oh, he hasn't.
Oh, God. I'm assuming he went back to the camp to do something dumb. If that's the voice of the narrator, that's interesting. Because he's narrating the intro cinematic, as it's playing out. Which makes you wonder if this isn't all the story of Mad Max that we're playing through. And if later it will be revealed that the narrator has just been narrating this whole thing to somebody or something. It would be pretty cheesy. I would be surprised if that was what they chose to do with that whole thing, but it's possible. I probably wouldn't be too happy. That would make it way too much like Borderlands 1, but it's always an option. Alright. We only collected 8 out of 10 scrap here. Huh. I wonder where the other scrap is. As I said, I would like to do as much completion as possible, so I guess it won't hurt to just look around and see what we missed. Obviously, if I'm spending like an hour or two looking for something, I mean, that won't happen. I'm not just going to wander around looking for something for infinite amounts of time. But if I miss something, I might do a quick run through, assuming we're not like in some sort of huge fortress or anything where that would just be a total pain in the ass. If I can, and it would be quick and easy, I'll probably wander back through just to see what I missed. Doesn't look like there's anything down there. We saw some spotters heading this way, which makes me wonder if / when we're gonna run into them. I do love the environments. It's so makeshift. Just like those cans hanging right there. It's definitely really cool. They obviously really spent a lot of time trying to really capture the feeling of this world. Obviously, we're not very far into it yet, but if the whole world is as interesting as it has been so far, it's probably going to be really cool. Looks like we got everything down there. I'm going to try to keep the recordings definitely below 40 minutes. I do want to get in a lot of gameplay. Obviously, I'm just starting this channel up, and so I am trying to promote it as much as possible through various social media sites, which isn't, of course, easy. There's already so much good content out there and so many excellent content creators that have far better setups, which means they have far better audio and visual quality than I do, that it's quite hard to make myself different enough that I would be something someone would want to listen to. But I definitely do want to have at least a modicum of success. It said find fuel. I assume this counts as fuel. Let's actually just check real quick. I wonder where our car is, actually, if there's just like a mechanic I'm not missing or something. Huh. Did I just drop that? Sure. Well, I suppose I don't even know why I'm carrying this with me. I assume I won't be able to carry it up ladders unless I can go up them one-handed, which will be nice. It says my objective is to find fuel. Okay, so I can. It says my objective is to find fuel for the magnum opus. And I assumed that this would be the easiest way to do that. What I'm wondering now is where the magnum opus actually is. It's possible that I overlooked it on the map, so I'll give another gander at it when we're over here. As I said, I'm just trying to do as much promotion as I can and obviously get better at the whole commentary thing. Obviously, it's a tough thing to get used to, especially since I'm doing live commentary. I'm not doing post commentary just because I have kind of a busy schedule and I don't have the time to go back in and edit in my voice over, which means that I can't really do anything. I mean, I can try to edit out most background noise, but there is a lot of stuff that I can't really help if it shows up. I'm just going to try going back to the hideout and see. I didn't see the car anywhere over there, and I'm not really getting any hints on the map as to where he is, which is confusing to me because you think that would be something that they would include. So over there is the big nothing, I believe, which, yeah, just over here, the big nothing. So that's apparently the part of this game that's very much No Man's Sky-ish, because it's apparently a uniquely procedurally generated ever-changing landscape, which I find to be quite interesting personally. Alright, I don't see him anywhere over here, and I'm afraid that wandering further off this track would probably not lead to anything good. If I didn't see him up there, don't know where I would see him. So I'm just gonna head back to the hideout. Obviously, it's annoying to run with this fuel can. It seems like some parts of the game just aren't working, like the subtitles aren't showing up or anything. So I hope that this isn't a similar situation, and that I'm just not receiving a hint from the map, because that would piss me off. Obviously, if that was the case, I would edit out all of this. And as it is, I'll probably speed it up fairly significantly. I might take out my voice here and fast forward this part. If I don't, you can just enjoy the sight of me running through an area with a gas can. If I get to the hideout and he's not there, I'm going to wrap up this episode and just see what I can find out online, if anything. I guess if he's somewhere really far away, if I find out online that this has been an issue and no one knows where he is, and then somebody is like, hey, I might just take this can of gas and go blow up that skink. Oh, I see flames, but I'm wondering if that's just that car we saw earlier that was flaming as well. I don't know if I like it that they're not telling me where to go, or if I do like it. Usually, I like open-ended objectives, but part of me wishes that they would just give me a map location. Oh crap. I'm gonna mute my mic real quick. Alright, I think the danger is past. We've got a few people running in the hallways right now. Our local marijuana dealer on campus is being apprehended, it would seem. I wonder if this would explode if I threw it. I also wonder if Chumbucket just like took the car back here because he was angry at us. That would be kind of interesting to me, because he certainly seemed very obedient and subservient so far, so I would be surprised if he just decided to fuck off and leave us to die out in the middle of the desert. That doesn't really seem like something he would do given what we've seen of his character so far, but it would be an interesting aspect to him if he was completely got some little pop in there, if he was just very bipolar or something like that. I'm not actually seeing any where to go. Huh. Maybe I go up, but how do I go up there? There's definitely some weird environmental stuff going on. Can I go up here? I can. Oops. I do want to go up there real quick, just because that's kind of cool. I wasn't really expecting that. Trying not to fall through this hole. Can you get up there, though, is my question. I think we were through that door. There's a vibrating noise. So we just fall through that every time we try to go up there. It's kind of a shame. Alright guys, well, I'm actually going to wrap up this video right here, just because I know that everybody is sick of watching this. So I'll Google around to see if I can find out where Chumbucket actually is, and then I will give you all another episode of Mad Max, hopefully tomorrow. Signal him with the flare gun, it says here. Okay. That was utterly pointless then, what we just did. There we go. Well, maybe it wasn't. Hopefully he will just have needed to come back here.
wanting to steal her away from us. I had to take her somewhere safe.
No time to waste then. We've a car to build.
Yes, we do. Oh, we've done
All right, cool.
righteous work, Saint. We have what we need to install the nitrous boost.
Sweet. So I assume that means we can just go back down in here and then install that, and then I'll leave you guys with something that isn't just me wandering around blindly. I'm just not going to say that was my fault, because up in the upper left hand corner it said find fuel for the magnum opus, and it was only when I opened up the escape tab or the map tab that it actually said the real objective, which is kind of interesting to me. Annoying, because I wish I hadn't just left you all watch me do that, but a little bit interesting too. Alright, garage. We need our nitrous boost. Cool. So we have a shit ton of scrap right now, and I'm wondering if we can actually use it to get anything else.
Nitro done yet?
Oh, yes.
Apparently not.
Nitro installed. Now, let's baptize her and roll the holy sled. I know just the place.
Alright. Okay, guys. Well, in the next episode, we will test out that nitrous that we just put in our car. Sorry that I made you all watch me wander through the wasteland with a gas can for about 5 minutes, but not much I could do about that. Hope you all have been having a fantastic day/night, and I hope you will have one tomorrow. I will see you then. Until next time, GM out.